Hey guys, Peter here to do an EP review. Today I'm here to tell you about Bodom After Midnight, Paint the Sky with Blood, out April 23rd on Napalm Records. The EP has 3 tracks, 15 minutes in length, and they are a melodic death metal band from Helsinki. Now this is the result of the split up that happened with Children of Bodom. Daniel and Alexi moved on, created Bodom After Midnight, and it's a little bit bittersweet that I sat down and I listened to this EP, because while enjoying his last work and while really absorbing every single note, every single lyric, every single moment that this EP had to offer, it really left me wondering the potential and what could have been a full-length record in the future, the career that he would have had with Bodom After Midnight. Because I feel like he went back to the vault, he went back to what brought the creativity, what made him tick when he started Children of Bodom, and he brought that into this band. That energy is present on all 3 tracks, surrounding himself with the right members as well. Really helps that. Guys that know exactly what they need to do in order to get the most juice out of this orange, and that's exactly what you're going to get across these 3 tracks. 2 of them are brand new, one of them is a Dissection cover, and what a phenomenal cover that is. We'll get more into that just in a minute. Now, once you get into the sound, this is an album that's driven by the guitars, as perhaps you would expect when you have Alexi and Daniel playing guitars on a record. They're not going to let anybody else take the wheel. They're the ones sitting behind the wheel, dictating the tempo, the energy, and where the songs are going to go. Phenomenal work across all 3 tracks. The solos are impeccable. The energy that you're going to get on the songs is slightly different from track to track. All 3 have something quite unique to offer. It's not like one is a copy of the other. They all going to take you in different directions, but they all going to end up in the same place at the end of the day. So I really like the energy that this EP has as far as the guitars are concerned. The melodies are outstanding. The ability to create heaviness melody, merge the 2, break them apart, bring them back together. You're going to go through a roller coaster ride on each and every single song as far as the guitar work is concerned. Then to ground everything, you have Valtteri on drums. He's a phenomenal drummer. Anytime he's on a record, either be within his band or on a project, you know you're always going to get good work, and you're always going to get a heavy sound that really understands exactly what the songs call for and what the songs need. I felt that his work on these 3 tracks really balanced out the overall experience, but they also grounded the soundscape. He made the tracks slightly heavier than perhaps a different drummer would do. I love the sound that comes from it, very rich, a lot of depth, a lot of layers to the drums, but to me the most important element is understanding where the tracks are going, where the guitars are pushing these songs, what's keeping the songs controlled, and then giving them the heaviness that they need when they need it, and dropping back into the background a little bit more when there's something else that needs to take the spotlight within the track. But the drum work all around is just outstanding. I love the sound, I love the presence, I love the depth. Very rich, very well recorded, very well executed. As far as vocals are concerned, vintage Alexi. I love the screams. I just love it. It's just so much energy, so much anger, so raw, and it's really captured in the sound throughout this EP. His voice very consistent from the beginning all the way to the end. That raspiness, that tone that it has, that's unmistakable when you listen to him. It just comes across perfectly. He changes ever so slightly on a track or 2, but the changes are very minimal, so it doesn't really impact, or at least it doesn't change your perception of the tracks. I also like some of the backing vocals that they used. It gave some of the songs a little bit more of a live feel, if you will, and it added to the energy and added to the dynamic mechanisms that the songs have. Overall, this is outstanding. Too bad it's only 3 tracks. I wanted more. I wanted a full length. I wanted to continue to listen to this band. I wanted to continue to listen to Alexi. He really released some of his best work with these 3 songs. I have no doubt about it. The only way I could enjoy this EP was by playing it on loop. I think I played it on loop at least 10 times over in order to feel like I'm listening to more than what's there for me. That is how good this work is, and that is I think the best way that I have in order to really honor his memory and honor his legacy. I really recommend you guys picking up this EP. You're not gonna regret it. Like I said, some of his best work, I think you have to go back 3-4 albums to find better songs that are better executed, that sound as good as these 3 do. Now let's get into the tracks. Let's talk a little bit about these songs. The first one, Paint the Sky with Blood. This is a perfect opening track. It doesn't matter if you're talking about a full-length album, you're talking about an EP, or even a live show. This is the song that you want to start things off with because it has a lot of heaviness, it has a lot of energy. The heaviness that comes from the drums, the melody that comes from the guitars, the way those two elements blend in together, you know you're in for a ride. And then that trademark Alexi scream right at the beginning really kicks you in and knows that you know immediately you're off to the races. That's the kind of track that you have in your hands with this opening song. I love the momentum that the song has. I love some of the vocal layers that the track has. Some of those backing vocals really add a sense of a live performance within the song. It makes the song a little bit more catchy, a little bit more hooky, a little bit more memorable, gives a great vibe, and it gives a great depth to the overall presence that this track has to offer. Very melodic song, but at the same time very heavy. It just really alternates the two, and then it finds ways of bringing them together at the same time to create this really unique way of pushing heaviness and melody together that makes the sound just expand. The song feels bigger at times, and then it contracts again, and then expands again. That's kind of the feel that you get. Really a roller coaster ride as far as the energy and as far as everything that it has to offer to the listener. The guitar solos are impeccable. They understand exactly what this track has to offer. They understand the dynamic mechanisms of being more melodic and being heavy and really alternating the two, and then they just explode on the track. They're filled with energy, they're filled with light, they're filled with melody, and they fit into this song perfectly. They really complete the track, if you will. Next, Payback's A Bitch. I love this song. Consistent vocals from the beginning all the way to the end. Great tempo, great track. The guitars are really pushing the song forward. They're really dictating the direction in which the song goes, but the keyboards play a huge role in this track. This is almost vintage Children of Bodom. It has the guitars and keyboards, the two of them playing the majority of the role as far as driving the song, as far as constructing a track that just blends that melody coming out of two different outputs, but blending it in perfectly and creating one single avenue of sound, if you will, as you go down the line, as you move along with this song. And then you have the trademark guitar solo, keyboard solo, guitar solo. I love that. That's really vintage. And I love the way it was executed. I love the way it fit in this track, because when you look at this song, like if you look at Paint the Sky with Blood, that was a guitar-driven track. You look at this song, it's not really a guitar-driven track because the keyboards are taking a lot of the time behind the steering wheel. So they take turns. You either get one or you get the other. So when you have a song constructed around those two elements, you have to bring them in for the solo sections and have the two of them intertwine with each other, not only throughout the track, but also in that specific portion of the song. And that's exactly what you're going to get from this track. Last but not least, Where the Dead Angels Lie, a Dissection cover, and what a cover it is. This cover gives you chills. It just feels so dark in the sound that it has, in the melody that it carries. Definitely the most atmospheric song of the three. I mean, I was not expecting anything else from this cover. They kept it close to the original, but not too close. They gave it obviously their own spin, their only melodic death metal spin, if you will. It has all the trademarks that you would expect from a track that would be included in this EP. But I love the energy that it has. I love the atmosphere that it carries. The guitars sound slightly different on this song than they did in the previous two tracks. Not as crisp, not as driven, a little bit more rough, a little bit more edgy, which matches the overall atmosphere of the track. It also matches the delivery that you would get from the guitars on the original song. So everything fits in with what they were trying to do. There's just a lot of darkness overall on this track. There's a little bit of a change in approach as far as vocals are concerned, but matches the song and matches what the original had in store. So everything just fits perfectly. I think by the end of the day, when you're listening to this track, you'll feel that this is going to be one of the best, if not the best cover to see the light of day in 2021. I have no doubts about it. This is it. This is Bodom After Midnight with Paint the Sky with Blood, out April 23rd on Napalm Records. Let me know your thoughts. Use the comment section below. I'll be reading those and getting back to you. Take care, guys.